explained it really well. We knew they would be able to help. One of the reasons we wanted to offer you infinite potentials, infinite possibilities, infinite perspectives on the things that you're interested in doing is because, as Elohim explained, we have an infinite perspective on everything, so we wanted to give you that gift as well. And we know that you're not physically capable of embracing that gift, but you are able to at least touch into it and taste it. And even tasting it is something beyond what you've ever asked yourself to do before. You've never asked yourself to have this kind of experience in a Homo sapiens form. And of course, it's going to facilitate an evolution into the Homo spiritus perspective. Part of the evolution of the Homo spiritus perspective is the ability to look at things from infinite possibilities and to recognize that there are infinite perspectives of those infinite possibilities. Infinity squared is a big number. This is where we live. You could call it that, infinity squared. That's our address. And we know it's difficult for Veronica to work with us, and we know it's difficult for her to experience our energy, because you imagine that it's not something that actually the human form is especially adaptable toward. But every time we come to you and every time we work with her, we're able to see more how we can help you all, and what words we can use to express what we know, and how we can bring you this awareness that we have this ability to embrace, and to give to you the opportunity to have something you've never had before, and to also help you facilitate the ascension process and the movement into Homo spiritus. We want to give you this gift, and we're working very hard to give you this gift, and we're focused nonstop on the ability to coalesce our energies into a narrower beam that can give you guys the information that we are finding for you. So we understand it's confusing sometimes, and we understand it's difficult other times, and we understand that sometimes you just don't know what to do with it, and we don't know what to do with it, and Veronica certainly doesn't know what to do with it, but we're working together. This is our commitment, and the rest of the council is extraordinarily helpful. So, on to the subject at hand. When you are able to bring to yourself the ability to allow infinite possibilities as an option. Now, don't try to understand. Don't try to think of what infinite possibilities means. Don't try to allow yourself to even embrace it with your brain. All the work you've done over these last years to take away the need for your brain to understand it is so that at this moment, right now, you can say, I believe in infinite possibilities, and don't need the brain to take over. This is not something your brain is going to help you with. This is an aha insight level information. Aha insight level information. It is not processed by the brain. It's not processed by the mind. It is not processed by your sensory organs at all. It is processed by the awareness of your spiritual truth. That's a shitty way to say it. Hang on. It comes from a knowing. And knowings don't have to have intellectual backup. It comes from a knowing, not intellectual backup. It's not provable or repeatable. When you can relax into the knowing without requiring intellectual backup, you start to bring online your fractal sense of processing information. Your brain wants to be linear. One thing follows the other, follows the other, follows the other. Even aha to aha, one aha to another aha. That's not enough for us. We're going to take every moment and see it as holding the potential of every other moment. And whether you call it folding or calling it fractals or calling it quantum, we don't care. What we know is that you bring to this moment all potentials. And when you are aware that all potentials exist without finding yourself limited by habits, baggage, static in the past or the future, triggers, etc., when you start to recognize that all possibilities really do authentically exist in this moment, then you're able to tap into them, borrow from them, taste them, see them, know they're there. And even if you continue along the time stream you currently find yourself in, knowing these other things are possible fuels more creativity in this time stream you're in. You need the first step is that you allow yourself to have a knowing of infinite possibilities, infinitely experienced. We're already bored with this word infinite, but there isn't a better one, so we're just going to stick with it for now. So practice this week having infinite awareness that infinite possibilities are there, infinite experiences. And practice not letting your mind get involved. Don't go, how will it work? What will happen? What will it mean? What will it turn out to be? How will it go? Da, da, da. Don't do that. Just let it be a knowing in you. A knowing in you. We're trying to think of something, just a moment. Let's say there's somebody in your life that you know loves you. Even a pet. And you can't even maybe explain it to yourself why you have that loving in you, toward you. It just is. Right? There's just a sense that someone loves you. And in the past, sometimes you've called this unconditional love. But of course, all love has conditions. A pet will love you, but you beat it enough, it'll go away. It's not unconditional loving. There's a lot of conditions on loving. But we're not really focused on that as much as we're focused on the knowing, that just sense of it's there. And for us, we're experiencing it with Veronica as an experience in her back. She feels it sort of in her upper back. There's just a physical sensation there of a knowingness. There's like a little bit of a weight she feels there. This knowingness. So when we say infinite potential is infinitely expressed, infinitely experienced, and the brain goes boing, boing, boing. If you let the brain out and you just say, where can I know that? Not understand, think, or process it. Not try to reproduce or figure out how it even fits in my life. Where can I just know that's a truth? And wherever that settles into your body, and if you don't feel it yet, pick a spot in your body and assign it a feeling. Where can I know that? So that as you think about it, as it comes to mind, as we discuss it, as the council brings it up, as you listen to this tape again, you can start to process it with your body instead of your brain. And what we're doing there is fractal processing or quantum processing. Which again, don't try to even understand that term yet. Just don't. The first step is not to understand it. The first step is to know it. It's a little bit like when you used to say, you know, I'm going to be, not do. Right? There's just this sense of experience that is not brain-based. And that's the best we can explain it right now. And that's the first step, and that's the step we need you to focus on, is feeling into the knowing of this truth. That there are infinite possibilities, infinitely experienced, infinitely expressed. In every moment. Well, the timeshare thing is infinite possibilities, infinitely experienced, and infinitely expressed is one thing. The other thing is that each moment holds the possibilities of all expression. They go together, sort of. So that's the step you need to do first. Your bodies have to be more comfortable with this idea, and you have to have short-circuited the desire to think about it before we can move on much. So we know that you're overachieving light workers, and next week you'll come back and we'll talk about something else because you'll have gotten that figured out. So do that. Because you want to go where we live. Infinity squared. You want to do this. And we know that the council is a little bit uncertain as to how we can do this with the physical form. But we have seen a path. And it's a step-by-step path. And you have the first step. So good night.
Thank you.